Well, they often say that she's the exception who that proves the rule, be it the films or the causes you champion.
Oh, thank you.
So welcome to Goa and to the International Film Festival of India. So what is it that you're looking forward to? It's not your first time in India, right?
It's not my first time in India, but it is my first time in Goa. And I'm hoping when I stop doing interviews to look around, take a little trip to the beach and kind of get a chance to understand what's outside the film festival. But I was very happy to meet so many Indian actors and producers and writers because we have no sense sometimes of what's going on outside of New York, in the business.
And are you aware of our brand of cinema? Have you watched any Indian films?
Well, of course, the Bollywood films, but I can't say that I've seen, the serious side of the Indian cinema. So I wish there was, I was talking about how few small independent cinemas there are now in the United States to show foreign films. We've been kind of eaten up by corporations that now own everything, including the news, and so trying to find some of the little films is difficult. So I'll have to find, I don't know, they should have them on TV or something too. That would be nice.
Yeah, and we would love to have that because since we often complain that our movies don't make it to the Oscars, but, well, leaving that apart, would you like to do a Bollywood film?
I would like to do it. I'd like to, if it was a love story or something, that would be nice. I'm sure I could dance a little bit. I couldn't sing, though. I'm very bad at singing. I've been asked.
We have playbacks for that.
Oh, someone else could do my voice.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, well, then that's good. That's good.
Oh, well, we look forward to that. But coming back to your career, you paid for your own audition for Bull Durham. Do you think your career would have taken another course if you hadn't done that?
Well, certainly my life would have taken a different course because that's when I met Tim Robbins, and I have 2 sons by him, so that would have been different. I'd had a lot of success before Bull Durham, so I think I've been discovered a few times, so I'm sure there would have been something else. But for me personally, Bull Durham was very important because she was such a rich character and really fun and really smart and sexual and didn't have to die at the end. And so it kind of strengthened my belief in team playing, actually, because Kevin at that time was very popular and Tim was unknown, and it was a 3-hander, and everyone was very generous. When it was Kevin's time to shine, then we handed the ball to him, and when it was Tim's, he gave it to Tim, and so it was a very good experience, the making of the film. And then when it turned out to be such a classic and such a wonderful film, it was even better.
And also women bonding films, Thelma and Louise, the Banger Sisters, which is Eastwick. Do you actively seek these kind of films?
Oh yeah, but you have to be offered them. I've never turned down a great part. But it was certainly the appeal of Thelma and Louise to work with another woman, and that was a really fun movie. And Banger Sisters took a lot of rewriting to get to where that worked, and Witches was really fun. But usually in Hollywood they just have one woman per film, and if there are 2 women, then they hate each other for some reason. Usually because one's older and one's younger and inexplicably. So it's a bonus when you get to do a film where you're actually working with another woman.
And also your career, if one at the span of your career, the Rocky Horror Picture, Dead Man Walking. Is there anything in your resume that you would like to change in retrospect?
No. There are some movies that haven't turned out the way that I wish they had, but I've learned a lot from them, and I hope that I continue to move forward in a way that I can have. I'd like to do more movies that are love stories of one kind or another, and more comedies. And at a certain point, there's a lot of films that you get that are about death.
True. But you said you like grim themes.
Well, I'm a little tired of helping people die and me dying, so I'd like to go into a new phase with that. I think I've explored that enough. But I like films that help you to identify and and look, you know, being an actor is kind of like enforced compassion and reincarnation, and so you get a chance to be all these different people, and if you can help an audience see a person that they never had seen before in a way that they'd never seen, then I think you've done a really interesting job, and people leave and they've had a moment to, you know, even comedies, like, I don't know if you saw Eddie Murphy's The Nutty Professor.
It does.
So the fact that everybody was rooting for him, for the girl to get the fat guy,
True.
that's like revolutionary. So films don't have to be super serious to really make a change in a person's perspective, but when you're watching people making fun of him and you feel badly, then I think it does something to you, and the next time that you see something like that. So, you know, the best kind of movie for me is a comedy that has some little moment in it that's very unexpected.
And also, everybody here loves Brad Pitt, and they want me to ask you, what was it like working with a young Brad Pitt?
Well, Brad Pitt, even when he was young, was quite gorgeous. But also, if you see that movie, I think what's even more impressive than this incredible body is the scenes that he has with the husband later when he taunts him and when he is in the police station. I feel you really see that Brad Pitt is a character actor that happens to be in this amazingly good-looking body. And he's a very nice guy. I mean, obviously, he's a very thoughtful guy. He's also a humanitarian, and he's a great father. And I think even at that point, you could see that he was going to be something special.
Well, also, you've played screen mom to a whole lot of people. So who's your favorite on-screen son or daughter? I mean...
Well, my daughter would have to be my favorite on-screen daughter, although I loved working with Natalie Portman. But, gosh, you know, Jake Gyllenhaal was one of his first movies, and the Culkin Boys, and who else has played my son? I've had so many great younger actors that have turned out to be so strong. So I can't really, that's like a Sophie's Choice question. I can't really say which one of my children I love the best.
Okay, and also causes. I mean, you have been a voice of dissent, and you have been the human face. But how do you strike a balance between being confidently assertive to say overtly aggressive?
I don't really think you can worry about that. I think you have to try to get the facts, the truth out, and you have to really know what you're talking about. And I think the best thing is just to ask a lot of questions that people aren't in a position to ask, and to ask for transparency and for some accountability, and not to pretend that you're an expert about anything, but just that you have a right to know. And so that's really what I've done, is just tried to be a little flashlight on issues that people aren't able to get information on.
And lastly, I see this jagged tattoo. So what does it mean?
This tattoo, I have a bigger one on my back that are my children's initials, but this is AND that I wrote out and then was tattooed on my arm, and it stands for a new dawn, a new day. Yeah. And so when I look at it, no matter how much I've been hurt or how much I've hurt other people or whatever, I can think that, you know, I'll get a chance to do it again, fix it again, you know, one more shot if you can hold on until the sun comes up.
Exactly. Totally, and that should be the philosophy of life for anybody. Thank you so much, and
you're welcome.
Wonderful talking to you, and we hope to see you in a Bollywood movie.
All right, you work on that then.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.